today's cup of coffee. Ponderings.
Yeah.
And we do have a news article. Has to do with UFOs.
Yeah.
The ponderings had to do with UFOs.
Yeah.
Which is why, since the X-Files went off the air officially, have there been no actual good coffee mugs as far as with aliens and UFO themes? You would think with all the hubbub lately that's going, and we ain't talking them 9-ounce, that's just insult to those of us who actually drink coffee. Yeah.
I don't know how
that's just like the one that I use, that's the alien face, that was gifted to me back when I was in radio.
Yeah, it was. I wonder where they got that from.
At that point in time, I think that Spencer's and places like that had the UFO things because X-Files was still going on.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people liked aliens back then anyway. Just X-Files beside.
Right. And as much, and this cartoonified version of the aliens has taken over that, and the hippie aliens and weed aliens and all that shit. And I'm like, how the hell did that come along?
I don't know, but are you talking like the cutified versions? Are you talking about where it's just the green alien, the little green alien?
Well, they're just not. They're not cool.
I don't know.
They're
I'm looking
not
at this.
Cool.
I don't know. I'm looking at this one mug, and I think that's pretty dope. I think it looks pretty cool.
And so,
look at this. Wouldn't
you want that? No, I wouldn't, because that would be a nightmare trying to wash that.
Nah, you could put a plant in the top of it.
Well,
hell yeah.
Yeah, if you're not going to actually drink coffee from it, I'm talking about the kind you actually use.
I'd use it. I'd use it.
And that's just
you could use it as an ashtray.
The one that we use in our mug shots sometimes, I don't use that one because I don't want to break it.
Yeah. Maybe you should find another one.
They don't make those anymore.
Like I said, you could find another one maybe on eBay. I'm going to check eBay right now to see what's on there.
I want just a 20-ounce coffee mug, which are those are my favorites.
Well, hold up, let me check eBay. I'll find it real fast.
That has like Roswell or something like that. You know, that type. The truth is out there UFO theme on it. That or one of the actual grays or something like that.
There. Truth is out there. Area 51, 1989.
Yeah, I'll look and see what the ounces are on it.
It's a vintage mug. I don't know.
And how much is the vintage mug?
No, it's not vintage. Hold up. It's not vintage. I was deceived. It is $25.
That's a lot of money.
$10 shipping.
That's $35.
This is the first one that I found. So don't base all the pricings off of this one.
That doesn't even have how large. What is the?
It says large.
No. Because
it doesn't say how many ounces.
An 11-ounce coffee mug is large. No,
it does not say how many ounces.
See, that's the problem right there. There are people that like the idea of coffee, and then there are those of us that actually it's a basic food group.
Now, these look kind of, it got a pig nose. I don't, like, for real, I don't know how to describe this alien mug.
No.
It just.
So that's a no.
Like,
hold up. I have looked for several years. No. God love it. That one was just kicked out of the fleet or whatever it was. I understand it. No. Who does that? That one looks like one of those that Jaime, whatever his name was, from Mexico had drug in front of their Congress. No, I'm not.
That paper mache thing with the spring in the middle.
Help. Anyhow, for our story today, this actually, and I forgot to put that on there, it comes from Gateway Pundit, and I forgot I'll have to go back and put that on there on my notes. And I was disappointed in their writing style. I really was. And I've been disappointed in their writing style because what they do, and it's not uncommon for one outlet to go and get a news story from another outlet, but it ain't cool if they don't cite their sources.
No, it's not.
And
cool.
if they borrow artwork from the other source, they using everything else from the other source. And the reason I know this is because of the way that the quotations were done. They were not direct quotes. So apparently this is somebody else's, more than likely it was Daily Mail. And I didn't catch the article a few days prior and came across it yesterday on Gateway Pundit. And it's like, dude, y'all going to tighten up over there. I mean, really. Do your own work.
Stop using Chat GPT.
Yeah. And this, anyhow, is by Paul Serran, February the 13th of 2024. And it says that the UFO mania just won't go away, with more and more reports surfacing every day dealing with evidence, true or imagined, of these unidentified craft roaming the skies in speed and maneuvers that are not possible with our present known technology. Okay, I take issue with that first sentence because he sounds snide, cynical, and it's like, if you already got a bad attitude towards it, why even do the report?
Yeah, it sets the tone for the whole article.
And it's like, all right, Mr. Serran, was your ass called to testify before Congress? Did you put your ass on the line on this? Mm-hmm. If you didn't, sit down, shut up, and listen.
Yeah.
And if he wants to contact me, fine. I will do a fair interview with him and find out why he is as skeptical as he is. Mm-hmm. Because for this to just be smoke and mirrors and bullshit, there are thousands of people over many years that have had sightings of something. Mm-hmm. That's the whole thing. It is an unidentified something.
It is.
And he says, now we learn of multiple allegations that the, quote, from somewhere, the U.S. military is in possession of a video of a UFO apparently disabling a nuclear warhead during a routine test, according to multiple former officials, end quote. Okay, I don't know that they, nuclear warhead test, I mean, dummy, but I mean, that's just poor wordage.
It's very poor wordage.
And says that the video in question, it is alleged, shows a saucer shooting 4 beams of light at the unarmed dummy warhead, disabling it right after it detached from the Atlas missile booster. But who are the sources to this fantastic to the max story? It all begins 60 years ago. Retired U.S. Air Force officers Lieutenant Bob Jacobs and Major Florence Mansman claim to have viewed the recording of the 1964 encounter before the tape went missing. So that this was actually filmed.
Huh.
Allegedly.
Where's the footage?
Well, that's what they're saying. And, dude, if you're going to quote somebody, put who the quote is from.
Yeah, cite your sources.
I mean, this is just writing 101. My God, my high school English teachers, you would have just, no, should have called me out in a heartbeat. Somebody quotes or states, the former officials were part of a team responsible for capturing video of missile test launches in California with telescopic photography and videography equipment. 2 days later, after they screened the video, they claimed that 2 plainclothed, I think that should be plainclothes, CIA agents confiscated the footage and swore them to secrecy, end quote. Okay, that's not, that was what happened there near Roswell. There were quite a few incidents of the men in black. Mm-hmm. That they would come and they would threaten people and their families that if they said anything, that they would, all of them,
they would
be erased.
Yeah.
The threat of somebody hurting somebody's family, yeah, they'll cause somebody to be, shut up.
Mm-hmm. Real fast.
And the decades-old incident came back into public awareness due to another to author Robert Hastings reinvestigating it. Lieutenant Jacobs was in charge of a military telescopic photography site in Big Sur, California. The alleged video he shot shows the missile as it traveled thousands of miles per hour over the Pacific Ocean. Major Mansman was the chief photographic imagery analysis at Vandenberg Air Force Base near Santa Barbara, California. It says that according to a letter that Mansman, that's a very difficult name, Mansman, wrote about the incident in 1983, quote, the craft inadvertently caught on film was domed and disc-shaped, according to Jacobs and Mansman. It was a classic disc. The center seemed to be a raised bubble. The entire lower saucer shape was glowing and seemed to be rotating slowly. At the point of beam release, the object turned like an object required to be in a position to fire from a platform. But again, this could be my own assumption from being an aerial combat, end quote. So supposedly laser beams come out and shot this rocket.
Yeah.
And
Just
that would be
zapped it.
disconcerting, you know.
Yeah. I mean, like, firing laser beams at us. Like the fucking shoop-de-whoop.
Mansman told Jacobs...
My laser. Wow.
Mansman told Jacobs not to discuss what they had seen. But come 1982, Jacobs began discussing the event. His claims were dismissed by skeptics. Well, of course they were, because they're fucking skeptics. That's like saying water is wet.
Yeah.
And he suffered harassment and anonymous death threats. Beyond the alleged video, there is some limited evidence supporting the story. Okay, some evidence is still evidence. So what is dude's problem? He's one of these, if a UFO landed on his lawn, alien came up and bit him on the ass, he would still refuse to believe. Because there are those people out there. And it says here, I don't know who is quoting who on this, in quotations, a declassified but unreleased set of radar data of the September 15th, 1964 event apparently confirmed that an unidentified aerial object was observed near the dummy warhead during the missile test, a source told Hastings. Okay, so something was there at the time that this rocket was launched. That's concerning, highly.
Yeah.
And it says that Hastings has posted a few days ago on the UFO Chronicles website that whistleblower Luis Elizondo acknowledged the existence of the video and claims he has seen it. Now, Elizondo is... But anybody that says that they were former intelligence, I'm like, that's when that Spock eyebrow automatically goes up. I would come closer to believing somebody that had Bigfoot that was, had danced a jig on top of their trailer before I would believe any of these alphabet agencies.
Yeah.
For real. And it says Elizondo, who alleges that he was the former director of the Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program to study UFOs. Well, now, that should be very easy to determine whether he was or whether he wasn't. That should be a matter of public record.
Yes.
This reporter could have called and confirmed. And Elizondo has been in the public eye for quite a few years. So, if he was not the director, he would have been called out big time. And a U.S. Senate investigator would have told Hastings that Elizondo confirmed this description in an official interview last year. And, quote, Hastings wrote in the New Post, I don't know where they're getting this quote from either, that during the briefing, the former AATIP director, that was Elizondo, confirmed the existence of the video, the details regarding what it showed, and the location of a copy of it in AATIP's workshops or workspaces, end quote of it, end quote. So they're saying that a copy of this film still exists.
Somewhere. That means it's going to be found,
It
right?
may be, and again, it could be a matter of self-disclosure or whatever. And the
At
picture
some
that I'm
point,
using,
this has to be released.
oh, it's shit's getting ready to break loose. I mean, it is one
I
way or
mean,
the
we
other.
literally just had a Super Bowl UFO commercial. Like, they're saying, oh, be prepared. Alien invasion.
And the picture that I'm using today, which is from Daily Mail, which has their little trademark thing on there, was the same one that they used in the Gateway Pundit. I probably will not use another story from Gateway Pundit after this one. That one sort of broke me.
What kind of name is Gateway Pundit?
Well, it's supposedly a conservative website. There's none of them. They've all got an agenda, and a lot of them, most of them have shit writers, because journalists, if the AI can do better than some of these people, then so be it. I mean, honestly.
That's why I was like, stop using Chat GPT.
Well, it's like
That's an
anything
AI
else.
thing.
If people keep relying on AI, then that means that their brains get lazy. You know, eat up with laziness at this point.
Isn't that like one of the deadly sins?
Oh, yeah.
Sloth.
It certainly is. It most certainly is. But I have heard I think this may have been the first time I had heard of a UFO diverting rockets, kind of, sort of, in this form, but not. I have heard other accounts over the years of rockets going in certain areas, and an unseen force moved the trajectory of the rocket.
Now, how do we know that these are genuine UFOs and not the UAPs and
We don't.
them trying to, like,
We don't.
completely fuck with us?
We don't. But I know that even that there were sources over in Russia several years ago that there was some kind of nuclear, and it happened in this country too, that the silos, that the bay doors to allow the rockets to emerge would not open.
For real?
Yeah. Yeah. And I would like to think that God would send beings of whatever variety to save us from the evil that's going on right now. That and the stupid. And is there a difference?
But in all honesty, we don't know what God has planned, so
We
it
don't.
could very much be a possibility.
Yeah.
It's going to be one big game of The Sims.
It's
Alien abduction.
It's getting kind of ridiculous.
You know what? If the aliens are friendlier, though, rather than whatever beings are in the shadow government that are literally killing us.
Right, the reptilians.
Yeah. I would very much prefer God send, like, some other...
Yeah, we don't know. We've discussed this before as far as trying to figure out how God works and trying to put him in a box and confine him, and he's got to do it this way, and he's much too big to fit in anybody's 2x2 box.
Yeah. Yeah, he's beyond human comprehension.
Absolutely, and so are his plans.
Yeah.
But as far as, when you sit there and you go, this is something to consider. I can sit and I can listen to it, and, because that I have heard many things and have followed these types of stories for many years now, I have a basis of comparison, as opposed to this writer who apparently he just wants to poo-poo and discount and discredit everything. And if he didn't want the story, why didn't he go to the editor and say, hey, I believe this is a bunch of bullshit, and be done with it?
Right.
And let them give it to a journalist that would at least cover it in a neutral way.
Yeah. It could have been as simple as that, but no, instead...
Right.
Sometimes haters just want to be haters, though.
Right.
And so they just...
And that's one of the things that I will say in a positive note on the Daily Mail. Now, they've got a lot of very controversial stories. If it is editorial, they do put it as editorial. And journalism is supposed to be who, what, where, when, why, and how. That's it. Anything else is an editorial.
No personal opinions.
And
right?
Exactly. And when they have had the exclusives, when they have talked to some of these whistleblowers about the UAPs and the UFOs and the different things like that, I can honestly say that I have as far as the writing style and the journalists who covered those, in this moment, I can't remember any of them being just jerks. Now, they've been jerks on other stories, but for the most part, on this stuff, they have not. You know?
Yeah.
I just wanted to read the article and find out who said what. And I honestly should have gone back to the Daily Mail. But no, dude wanted to give his opinion, so I gave mine. And my opinion was about him. And his writing style and his skepticism. Because that is, like I said, if it was an editorial, he should have put it as such. Mm-hmm. Now, Elizondo is interesting. And it's one of those that when you sit and listen to him, and this is true of any of these whistleblowers, but you also have to keep in mind that some of these people that have worked with alphabet agencies and in intelligence and all that stuff, that they have been trained as liars.
They have.
Or to lie, even as far as body language, different things like that. And some of them are just, they reptilians, and so they can just sit there and they have no emotion, and it's, no.
Does not, and that's a scary thing. The
It
fact
is
that they
scary.
No comprehension of emotion.
Right. Right. They view it as weakness.
Yeah.
That's why they think themselves superior. Nope. Interesting times. But these are the things that you have to keep in the back of your brain as you... That's why you have to pray for discernment.
Yeah. That
inner knowing that only humans can have.
Mm-hmm.
If we ask for that gift, we can have that. That little thing in the middle of your gut and your torso. It's going.
Yeah. It's like, should we really
something
be
ain't
doing
right.
this?
Something ain't right.
Yeah.
You can tell it. Pay attention to those. So, do I believe that this could have happened? Absolutely. Absolutely. Do I believe that all this stuff is self-disclosure and God knows what is going to happen? I mean, every day has been a shit show. It truly has just been, and this is only February the 14th.
It's nonstop.
Mm-hmm. It is nonstop. It is totally and completely nonstop. We've had, as far as red flags, we're going to have all kinds of stuff because shit's going to blow up.
Yeah.
They let people in to blow stuff up here.
Yeah.
So everybody, situational awareness at all times, please. The thing that had freaked me out also today, just in speaking of reptilians possibly and different things like that, is that Hillary Clinton's former aide, Huma Aberdeen, is now dating George Soros's son. That's a brain breaker.
I wish y'all could see my face for what that one is.
It's just like, I'm so, each and every day I'm grateful I'm a podling. I really am.
Meep.
Yeah.
Meep.
Just simple.
Meep. Just
want to go out, take care of the plants, be kind, have music, have a little bit of, feast
kid
with family, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Simple.
Yep.
Final thoughts, kid.
That's it.
Yeah. Journalist, if you're gonna be calling yourself a journalist, have some ethics. My God, it ain't that hard.
It was not journalism. That was an opinion.
It was an
piece.
editorial. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It really was.
It's mind-boggling.
It's not that hard to do good journalism. It's really not.
They don't care. They want to put their opinion in it. They want their opinion to be heard, and so, by golly, he did.
It's a bit of narcissism. It ain't about him. It was supposed to be about the people that he was reporting on. Mm. He had one job.
One job, and he fucked it up.
One job. If you've had experiences with paranormal, supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. And the email address is there in the description box, plus the link to this. And if you want to go read it for yourself and go, Warland, honey, you nitpicking. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. It was like Brent Swancer's people had contacted me one time. What problem you got with Brent? I didn't have a problem with Brent's writing. He has a very flowery style of writing, which when you read it, it flows beautifully.
Wait, who did what now?
I told you this right before we started recording. It wasn't, but when you have that type of flower, unless you are doing a dramatic reading, it's very difficult to break down a very flowery article into news bites.
Oh, right. Yep.
That was the only thing. I actually have high regard for Brent Swancer.
His stuff wasn't bad, like you said. It was just very flowery.
Right. It was difficult, like I said, and the stories that they gave him to cover were really interesting. It, like I said, but for me to cover what he had covered, and that's the reason I always give these people credit. You know, not only while we're reporting the story, but then to go back and link that so that you can go and read it for yourself, because I was trained to have some ethics.
Yes.
But they got to where you had to subscribe to their, oh goodness, I can't think, it was Nick Redford. And you had to subscribe to it, and I just wasn't using it enough to be able to justify the subscription. So that's why we stopped using that. That was the only reason.
Okay.
Paywall. Yeah.
Okay. Well, that was my turn now.
It's your turn now.
Thank you. If you like this video, don't forget to like, share, comment, most of all, subscribe, and click that notification button. Even though it doesn't do anything, just click it. Give it some affection. All right? Give it some love. Thank you all. Have a good.
Know that you're loved.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you've been in a bad mood, a lot of people been in bad moods. If you in a bad mood, it's okay. It'll pass. Don't take it out on other people. Yeah. Get you a pillow. True. Beat the pillow.
Yes.
Don't beat other humans.
Yeah.
Verbally, physically, nothing like that. Now, protect yourself if you need to. Oh, perilous times indeed. But you all are very loved, and Lord willing, we'll see you on the next cup.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.